There's another time in the bar too, I've got to tell you. Morton, he's standing there and he said to this bloke, oh, he said, look at the tits on that lady. Oh, the bloke turned around and said, hey, you mind? He said, that's my wife. He said, well, I'm sorry, mate. He said, I'd pay $1,000 to kiss her, on the tits. He said, oh, would you really? He said, oh. He said, well, there's a bit of a recession on. He said, I could do with $1,000. He said, hang on a second. So he called his lady over. He said, that bloke at the end of the bar there, that Morton, he's prepared to give you $1,000. He said, just so he can kiss you on the tits, She said, oh, all right, no worries, So he's come down to the end of the bar and said, all right, you want to pay me $1,000 to kiss me on the tits? Morton said, yeah, no worries, that's all right, yeah. He said, all right then. So she's undoing the blouse and she's taking the bra off, And Morton said, excuse me, do you mind if I just touch him first, because before I kiss him? I said, yeah, no worries, So Morton is getting her hands out and he's caressing and squeezing them. Oh, I said, oh, this is nice. This is really good. And the bloke turned around and said, well, come on, Morton, aren't you going to kiss him? He said, I can't. He said, I haven't got $1,000. There's another time, too, I'm talking about the barmaids. I remember Morton, he's come into Townsville, and he was coming into this hotel and he said to the barmaid, he said, hey, listen, darling, how would you like to make love to me for $300? She thought, crikey, $300, that's nearly more than I earn in a week. He said, yeah, okay. So anyway, they're going upstairs, They're doing the business up there. Next day, Morton come back in again and he said to the barmaid, he said, excuse me, you want to earn yourself another $300? He said, yeah, sure. So up they go again, Well, she thought, I better just find out what makes Morton tick, She said, hey, Morton, I ain't seen you around here before. He said, well, I'm not from around here. He said, well, where are you from? He said, I'm from Mount Isa. He said, Mount Isa? He said, I've got a brother in Mount Isa. He said, yeah, I know, he gave me $600 to give to you. There's one story which is, this dear to my heart. This woman was walking down the footpath and she said, help me. And she looked down there was this little green frog, So she picked up the little green frog and she had it in the hand there. And the frog turned around and said, kiss me, and I'll turn into a Perth millionaire. So with this, she stuffed it in the handbag, and the girlfriend said, hey, aren't you going to kiss that frog? He said, no way. She said, the talking frog's worth a lot more than the Perth millionaire. One day, Morton is saying to me, he said, Billy, he said, I don't know why I'm doing this pig farming. I just don't seem to be making any money out of it. He said, I'll get some pigs, I'll make them fat, then I'll sell them, then I've got to buy some more pigs. He said, I can't see where you can make the money. I said, you're stupid, Morton. What you got to do is you got to breed from those pigs, mate. You got to multiply them. That's how you make the money. He said, what do you mean? He said, well, haven't you got a bull, so you can mate them up and they have the piglets? He said, no, I ain't got the bull, mate. He said, well, I'll tell you what. You bring all those pigs over to my place, I only charge you $500 service fee, and we'll get my boy, to service them for you, and that way you can get some piglets and make some money on those pigs. Morton, he's loaded all the pigs up, he drove over to my place, he got them all serviced, and then Morton said to me, he said, well, how do I know they're going to be all right? How am I going to know they got the piglets coming? He said, well, you'll know in the morning, mate. He said, if they're pregnant, mate, they'll be all laying on their side. But he said, if they aren't, he said, they'll all be standing up looking around. So the next morning, Morton elbowed Jittigan. He said, Jittigan, look out the window. Oh, okay. He said, what's the pigs doing? He said, oh, they're just standing around. Oh, I said, that's no good. So he's gone and got all the pigs up again, put them on the truck, brought them over to my place, going through that same routine again, doing the business. Anyway, that night, he'd go to bed, wake up in the morning and say, Jittigan, have a look out the window, see what the pigs are doing. So she's looking out the window. There all the pigs standing around again. She said, oh, Morton, they're just standing around. Oh, I said, no. Loaded all the pigs up, taking them all over there to my place again, put them with that bull. Sure enough, next morning, Morton said, Jittigan, what's the pigs doing now? So she looked out the window. He said, they stand around? She said, no, Morton. He said, oh, you beauty, they're lying down. She said, no, Morton. She said, they're all in the truck. She said, and there's one in the front beeping the horn. I remember one day, this lady, she had a very flat chest, and she going to see the doctor, this Dr. Spooner. And this doctor said, look, I've got the remedy for you. What you got to do is just massage to this nursery rhyme. What you got to do is just massage your breast and go. Mary had a little lamb, the fleece was white as snow, and every time I do my exercise, my boobs will surely grow. He said, now don't you miss out once, all right, because otherwise you go back to square one, you know. So every morning she was doing that. Mary had a little lamb, his fleece was white as snow, and every time I do my exercise, my boobs will surely grow. Well, one morning she was running late for the bus, so she jumped out of bed, raced down to the bus, got on the bus, and gone down to the back of the bus and went, oh, crikey, I forgot my exercise. So she looked around, couldn't see anybody, you know. So with this, she undid a blouse and a bra, and she started going. Mary had a little lamb, his fleece was white as snow, and every time I do my exercise, my boobs will surely grow. With this, Morton's head popped up over the seat. Said, Dr. Spooner, eh? He said, I beg your pardon? Said, Dr. Spooner. He said, yeah, but how did you know that? He said, easy, hickory dickory dock. One time when, I remember that Morton, he had the Sandman panel van. Remember them? Well, he had one of them, and he was parking, you know, on a hot night. And he said to Gilligan, you know, come on, Gilligan, how about it, you know? Let's go and do some of that business. He said, oh, no way, Morton, it's too hot out in the back of this van. He said, well, why don't we go and do it on the bonnet, you know? So I got on the bonnet of that Sandman panel van, you know, and I was doing it flat out, you know, that Gilligan, she got that excited. She ripped the car aerial off and started whipping Morton, you know, with the car aerial, whipping, when all of a sudden, that finished the business. But Morton, he's breaking out in big sores and welts and everything, you know, so he going to the doctor. And the doctor looked at Morton, he said, oh, this is terrible. He said, why, what is it, Doc? He said, that's the worst case of venereal disease I've ever seen in my life. That's true. One day, me, Morton and Albert were sitting down by the creek bed, you know, fishing for the barramundi. And all of a sudden, Albert, he's come up with this big statement, you know. He says, go to me, Morton, Billy. Yep. He said, you know that electricity? I said, yeah. He said, well, I invented that. Oh, that's really nice. That's very good. So not to be outdone, you know, I said, hey, Morton, Albert, you know the TV? He said, what? I said, the TV, television. He said, yeah. I said, well, I invented that. So that's amazing, you know. Then Morton jumped up, he said, hey, Billy, Albert, you know the VD? What? The VD? He said, don't tell me you invented that. I said, no. He said, I'm the state distributor. I remember when the Gilligan, she was very worried about getting married to Morton because she didn't know how to break the news that she wasn't a virgin, you know. So she going to see the mother. And the mother said to her, don't worry about that. I had this problem too when I married your dad. I got past by taking the shotgun to bed with me, you know. And when he did that thing, you know, he penetrated me, I let the shotgun go, and when he said, what was that? I said, well, that was my virginity. I said, oh, that's a good idea. So on the wedding night, you know, she's taking the double-barrel shotgun to bed, you know. Climbed in the bed there, and Morton, he's fumbling around and he's getting on top there. All of a sudden, he's to make that penetration with, and Morton's gone really surprised because the shotgun gone boom, boom, both barrels, you know. Morton said, crikey, what was that? She said, well, Morton, that was my virginity. He said, well, what's my balls doing on the mantelpiece? And election time, Morton, he's walked in the polling booth, you know. He said, that's good of me. I'll come to vote. He said, name? He said, Morton Aloysius Cockbottle. Oh, all right. And he's looking up and down the list. He said, ain't no Morton Aloysius Cockbottle here. He said, well, that's probably because I'm not from here. He said, what do you mean? He said, I'm from up north, man. Well, he said, you've got to be on the list here, otherwise you can't vote here. He said, well, I can't go back up there just to vote. I'm here. He said, oh, well, you'll have to absentee. He said, all right, white, no sugar. Oh, I needed that. Now listen, I got to tell you something else. It's all tribal custom in our family that if the father can't be around when the baby's born, the next of kin, he got to name the baby, you know. Well, this particular day, I didn't know my wife was going into labor. So Morton, he's rushed him in the hospital. And he finally got hold of me and he said, hey, Billy, he said, your wife, she just had babies. We got twins. I said, oh, that's good, Morton. He said, it's all right. He said, I named him. I thought, oh, no, what's he going to do? You know, because that's a worry. What Morton might come out, he might call him Johnny Sandshoe or something stupid like that, you know. So I said, well, what are the twins? He said, you got a boy and a girl. I said, oh, that's good. What did you name the girl? He said, Denise. I thought, oh, that's all right, Denise, that's a nice name. And what did you call the boy? He said, the nephew. I remember this bloke, this tourist fella, you know, he's gone in the tourist agent because he's seen a 7-day trip down the Murray River, you know, only for $50. The bloke thought, crikey, this is not bad, $50 for a week going down the Murray River. So anyway, he walked in there and the bloke said to the person behind the counter, excuse me, I'd like to have one of those 7-day trips down the Murray River for $50. She said, yeah, sure, no worries, come out the back here. So he walked out the back, and next thing he got a big bang on the head, you know, got knocked out conscious. Anyway, next day he woke up and he was strapped onto this log floating down the Murray River. Well, the bloke thought, oh, well, I'm going down the Murray, you know. Anyway, next thing, he come around the bend, and there was Morton strapped to a log. And he said, hey, mate. He said, do they serve any meals on this trip? Morton said, well, they didn't last year. There's a story about when Morton, he was standing in a dance studio, you know, and there was this smart-ass fella, you know, he's coming around betting everybody if they could show him a few steps of the dance. He could dance the whole dance right through, you know, and he was doing it, you know, he was doing the tango and the foxtrot and the bossa nova. When finally he come up to Morton, he said, okay, Morton, you want to have a go? $20. Show me a couple of steps. I bet you I can do the dance. Morton said, all right, mate. I'll bet you $10,000 you can't do the boogie dance. Anyway, bloke said, hang on, $10,000, that's ridiculous. He said, what, you gutless or something, mate? You've been taking all the money off everybody in this room. Why can't you have a go, mate? For $10,000, I bet you can't do it. He said, all right, I'm not gutless. Show me, mate, a couple of steps. Morton said, I can't do that, mate. That's a sacred dance, that boogie dance. It's only danced by a tribe well out into the desert, mate. So the bloke was crikey. I can't afford to lose $10,000, so he's got in his car and he's driving out to the desert, you know, when he finally come up to the camp and he's walked up to the elder. He said, it's good of me, mate. Can you show me how to do the boogie dance? The bloke said, oh, mate, you're a bit unlucky, mate. He said, what do you mean? It's a very sacred dance, that one. We only dance it once every 12 months, and we only danced it last week. He said, oh, no. So it is the bloke not to lose $10,000. He camped down by the creek, you know, for the whole 12 months. And he was getting the ticks jumping off him, and they all got the long hair and a beard and long nails. He was really looking bad, you know. When finally, the elder come over, he said, good of me, wake up. We got the butcher dance starting in a minute. So they dragged him up, you know. There over the rise, there was the clearing. And in the clearing there was a big circle of all my tribe, you know. They all circled around. They got the white paint on there and the ochre, and they're all sitting there with the clapstick, you know. And next thing they're all starting up, you know, going like that. Next thing all the guys going, I put your right arm in, you put your right arm out. I remember Morton, he's come to work one day and he said, I said, that son-in-law, I'm going to kill him. I said, what's the matter, Morton? He said, the other day when he's brought home my daughter, he said he's going and had a piss on the snow, you know, in the snow. I said, yeah, well, that's all right, that's natural, you know. He said, yeah, but he's gone and writing his name in the snow. He said, yeah, well, what's wrong with that? He said, well, it's in my daughter's handwriting. Hey, listen, I've got to ask you while I've got all you people here. Does anybody know what the difference is between a Kiwi and an arsehole? You know? Well, an arsehole doesn't go to a party and make a Kiwi of himself. Yeah, well, I've got to tell you another one, you know. That one day Morton sitting in the prison bus, and he was getting driven to the prison, you know, farm. And he said to this bloke, he said, what are you in here for, mate? He said, I'm in here for armed robbery. Was it crikey, mate? He said, what did you get? He said, 10 years. He walked over and sat in next to the other bloke. He said, what are you in here for, mate? He said, I'm in here for murder. Was it crikey? What did you get? He said, life. He didn't like this much, so he went over and sat somewhere else. He said to his bloke, he said, "What are you in here for, mate?" He said, "I'm in here for pouring petrol on Aboriginals and setting them alight." He said, "Crikey!" He said, "What did you get?" He said, "8 into the gallon." One day, Morton, he's always getting into trouble. He was, trying to raise some funds for the football club, So with this, he had this big party going on, and, they had all the grog and the gambling and all that sort of thing, and then they had a couple of girls, go and do a sex show, and they had, it was a real big night, because everything got out of control, They got the girls there, they were doing this thing, and they got really out of control. Even old Blue, the kangaroo dog, he jumped in there, well, with this, next thing, the police raided it, and they all ended up in court, Anyway, the girls, they got fined, for doing a terrible thing, They can't do that indecent act, And with that, they also fined Morton, for living off the earnings for the immoral things that they were doing, And they even went and fined old Blue, the kangaroo dog, for not having a liquor license. All right, that's it. You can all go and get stuff now. See you later.